If you have the Amex Green Card, or the Amex Gold Card, or the Amex Platinum Card, or any other American Express credit card that earns membership rewards points, then you also have access to a very special redemption method called Transfer Partners. Now, if you've been watching this channel or other channels or even some of the credit card blogs that are out there, you've probably seen a recurring theme that Transfer Partners tend to be the best way to redeem your Amex points no matter what if you want the maximum value. And on the whole, that is definitely accurate. However, because all Transfer Partners are not created equal, there are some in particular that are really not equal. In fact, despite your best efforts to maximize your value on the redemption side, it's nearly impossible to get great value. That's why in today's video, we'll be going over some of the top American Express Transfer Partners that you should avoid at all costs, minus a few exceptions that could occur, and we will cover those at the end of this video. So let's get things started here by first covering what is one Amex point worth as a frame of reference, and then we'll introduce all the other programs that you want to avoid in comparison to Amex to understand why the value is not going to work in your favor. For the most part, when redeeming your Amex points for travel via Transfer Partners, the average value that you want to obtain is around 1.7 cents per point. As an example, 10,000 points will be worth $170 of cash toward travel. And for further reference, if you just redeem your Amex points directly through the Amex portal instead of transferring them out to a separate program, you could expect 0.7 cents for most hotels, car rentals, cruises, and vacation packages. And then if you redeem for flights or FHR hotels, that is the Fine Hotels and Resorts program, you can get 1 cent per point. The reason why we talk about the value of points in terms of an average figure for Transfer Partners is because you're literally moving Amex points out to different programs, and all those programs have different values, and even within an individual program, the value per point can change based on the itinerary that you build. And this will be a lot more clear with some visuals. The first Transfer Partner program to avoid is the Hilton Honors program. So this is a 1-to-2 ratio, meaning if you start with 10,000 Amex points, you'll end up with 20,000 Hilton points. However, the value per point is drastically different. So again, going forward, we'll have all of our Amex points at 1.7 cents per point there on the left in blue. So that will be worth $170 on average. But look at the Hilton point value here. The average of 20,000 points is only $100 on average because one Hilton point is worth 1/2 of 1 cent on average. Plus, there's also dynamic pricing. Now, while dynamic pricing tends to be worse than the old days of set award charts that have very fixed values, that doesn't always have to be super bad. So basically, dynamic pricing, for those of you who want to learn what that is, it means that the price or value per point can change basically at any time during the year, even day to day. So just like the cash rate for a hotel or an air flight can change on Tuesday versus a Wednesday versus this month versus next month, the price per point, or in other words, the number of points you have to redeem for that same flight or hotel can also change. So that $300 hotel stay might cost 60,000 points, or it might cost 63,000 points, or 57,000 points, or 90,000 points for more premium rooms. But here's the not so great thing about dynamic pricing. It's not necessarily tied directly to the cash rate. So if the cash price for a hotel goes up by 15%, the points rate might also go up by 15%, or 27%, or 40%. Or it actually could be a little bit less. Maybe if the increase in the hotel price was 15%, maybe the points only increased by 6%. So since transferring out to Hilton means a guaranteed loss of value up front, and then trying to find the best redemption possible to recoup the value that you lost on the redemption side, it's best to avoid transfers here for the most part. Our second program to avoid is the Marriott Bonvoy program. This one has a 1-to-1 transfer ratio. So if you start with 10,000 Amex points, you'll end up with 10,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. However, since the average value here is only 0.7 cents per point, you'll only be getting $70 of value for those 10,000 points. Plus, there's also dynamic pricing here, similar to Hilton's program. So Marriott points are worth a little bit more on average than Hilton points, but Hilton has the better transfer ratio. Either way though, it's still not best to transfer to either of these programs. And we run into a similar situation with our third program to avoid, that is the Choice Privileges Hotel program. Again, this is a 1-to-1 ratio, but choice points tend to be worth about 0.6 cents per point. So for every 10K that you move over, you're only getting about $60 worth of value towards those hotels. Alright, so far we've covered 3 programs out of the 6 total that I want to show you, and if you saw a pattern there, they were all hotel programs. Now let's transition over to some of the airlines that you might want to avoid as well. Before we do that though, if you've been using multiple Amex cards to earn points in different categories a lot faster, and you want a really great way to manage all those cards in one place, also activating all of your Amex offers, many of which Amex doesn't even show you to begin with, definitely check out the app MAXREWARDS to help you out. MAXREWARDS is an app that allows you to manage your credit cards, rewards, and benefits all in one place. This includes seeing when your bills are due, tracking your sign-up bonuses, monitoring your credit scores, and more. And perhaps my favorite feature is the benefits and offers dashboard, which you can unlock with the gold level of MAXREWARDS. You might be familiar with Chase offers, Amex offers, Bank of America deals, and others. They're great, but they can be really frustrating to manage for 3 reasons. First, they change frequently, so you'll need to check them often to make sure you don't miss out. Second, they require you to manually activate them one at a time. And third, Amex usually shows you up to 100 available offers, even though more could be available. Fortunately, MAXREWARDS solves all of these problems. Each time you sync the app, all of your offers will be activated automatically, including the hidden ones from Amex that you didn't even know about. In fact, my Amex Gold card showed 162 offers that were ready to go thanks to MAXREWARDS. So if you'd like to try MAXREWARDS, use the link down below in the description to get the gold level entirely free for your first month. Now let's go over those airlines. The first airline transfer partner that you'll likely want to avoid will be the JETBLUE TRUEBLUE program. While it does have a transfer ratio of 1:1, the points in the JETBLUE program are only worth about 1.3 cents on average. Plus, the TRUEBLUE program is revenue-based and is also an excise tax offset fee charged by Amex. Definitely a few things to unpack and explain further there. First of all, with a revenue-based program, what that means is that the point value is tied to the cash value. So, if you have a redemption where a flight, let's say a short haul one-way flight is $100 or 10,000 JETBLUE points. If the cash value goes from $100 to $120, so a 20% increase, then the point rate of 10,000 points will go to 12,000 points, also a 20% increase. In other words, the cash price and the points price move together. So it's really hard in a program like that to get outsized value. That's why you'll pretty much never see JETBLUE points giving you 2, 3, 4 cents per point. It just doesn't happen with a revenue-based program. And then there's that nasty excise tax offset fee. This is charged upfront by American Express whenever you transfer membership rewards points into a US-based airline. The fee is currently set at 0.006 cents per point with a maximum of $99 for that fee, and you can pay in cash or in Amex points. And the unfortunate part here is that even if a different bank program like Citi Thank You Points, Chase Ultimate Rewards Points, or Capital One Venture Miles, if they have the same transfer partner as Amex with the same ratio and everything, none of the other ones charge that same tax excise offset fee. What a mouthful. So if you have Amex points and say Chase points with a common partner, you probably want to transfer Chase points out and avoid that fee. Again, this is only for US carriers. Any of the international airlines, you won't have to worry about this. Airline transfer partner number 5 to avoid is the Delta Airlines SkyMiles program. Again, we have a 1:1 ratio here, but the average value per SkyMile is 1.1 cents each. Delta got rid of their set award charts a number of years ago, and now they have full dynamic pricing, so you never really know what you're going to get until you start searching for award availability and planning out hypothetical itineraries. Given that this is also a US-based carrier, you'll also be hit with the same excise tax offset fee from American Express. And finally, airline number 6 to avoid would be Hawaiian Airlines, still a 1:1 ratio, but here the points or miles are worth about 1 cent each, plus there's some semi-dynamic pricing involved here. There are still region-based ranges to get a rough idea of how many miles you have to redeem for a certain flight, but the value per mile you get can still vary by demand and fare class. And again, it's a US airline, so you'll still have the excise tax offset fee once again here. How about a little summary of everything that we've covered so far? Check out this visual on the screen. In the left-hand column, you've got the 6 different programs that we've covered, and then in the middle, you have the average point or mile value in each one of those programs. And then the far right in blue font, you see the Amex point value. Again, still an average when using transfer partners. So all of them, no matter what, are going to be less than the value of an average Amex point when maximized at least to a moderate level. Now, having seen all that, it does not necessarily mean that every single redemption will be a really bad value every single time. So exceptions may exist like most things in life. So let's go over a few general scenarios where those may occur. Exception number one is that you've done the math and it makes sense. But what type of math are we talking about? Here's the value per point calculation. This is something that you want to memorize for sure going forward as you get better and better at the points and miles game. To calculate how much value you get per point, you want to take the cash price of the airline flight or the hotel stay, subtract out any taxes or fees that you need to pay out of pocket, of course, and then divide that cash price by the points price for that same flight or that same stay. Take that result, multiply it by 100, and then you have your value per point, which we express in terms of cents per point. So for example, if you've got a flight or a hotel stay costing $412.62, or you could pay 27,500 points in that program to cover the same flight or stay. You divide those two figures right there, get the result, multiply it by 100, and you realize that it's about 1.5 cents per point. So if you've done that math and you get a point value around the average for an Amex point of somewhere close to 1.7 cents, perhaps even better, then that would be considered a very good redemption, and you might want to consider using that transfer partner to book your flight or your stay. Exception number two, you need to top off your balance in another program. One example of that could be if you're going to book a Marriott hotel somewhere and you need 60,000 points to do so, but you've only got 50K points in your Marriott Bonvoy account. You could then transfer 10K Amex points over and therefore have 60K Marriott points to complete your reward booking. That's called topping off your account, where you already have points or miles in another program, but you're short a little bit, say a few thousand points, to make your trip happen. So in that case, I would rather take a loss of say $80 in my transfer to go make a $300 or $400 trip happen and preserve that cash. Exception number three, a limited time transfer bonus is available, and you've done the math and it made sense. So you can see the screenshot there where Amex was running a limited time promo when transferring to the AIRLINES Air Club program and the British Airways Executive Club. So normally that's a 1-to-1 ratio, but for that limited time, it was 1 to 1.4. Meaning for every 1,000 Amex points you transfer into these airlines, you actually end up with 1,400 avios, or in other words, airline miles. Again, still make sure that you do the cent per point math and make sure that it still works out in your favor. And exception number four, if you're transferring Amex points into miles on airline A at a loss or break even or a gain, any of those are valid, and then you'll use those miles in that other program to fly on a partner airline B at a massive gain compared to the average Amex point value. And that's where we enter into advanced territory with the transfer partners and airline alliances. For example, going from Amex points to British Airways avios, and then using those avios to book an American Airlines flight. That topic is best saved for another video, but for those of you who know how to do it and are comfortable doing so, then of course, that's just one more example where it's okay if you don't have the best value for the first transfer. It's really about what you recoup on the final redemption that ultimately determines what cent per point you got for those Amex points. And I almost forgot, if you happen to be confused at all by this transfer partner thing and you want some explanation about it, I did a step-by-step introductory course all about it with all the details. I'll link it down below in the description as well, plus as an end card. So right after I walk off the camera, you'll be able to see it and then go watch it. And with all that said, if you enjoyed today's video and believe it could benefit other people, then please help me get it in front of them by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications. Also check out the links down below in the description area to earn some more cash back when you shop online through Rakuten, to sign up for MAXREWARDS, which is a great app to manage multiple credit cards, rewards, benefits, and more all in one place, especially activating all of your Amex offers, and to view my all-new site with some great credit card offers that I've organized into different categories to help you find the cards that you like best. I thank you all for watching today's video. Hope it brought you some great value. I look forward to seeing you in future videos, and while you're waiting on my next upload, always remember that you are great.